If you're an online coach, a consultant, or any sort of high-ticket service provider, what you must understand is that people want to work with experts. So you could copy the exact same sales process, the exact same lead gen strategies, the exact same ads that I or any other leader in the market is using. But if you're not positioned as an expert, people will not want to work with you. In this training, we're covering all of the lead gen secrets that allow me to charge 10K per client and run up 20, 30, 40K months in my business. So if you're an online coach or a consultant and you're stuck anywhere below 10K a month, understand that it is positioning which will allow everything else to work. If you're sending 1,000 DMs a day, you're doing cold outreach, or even if you're doing content, without being positioned correctly, people will not even give you the time of day. So my friend, buckle up and jump into this training and keep your eyes peeled for the end of the training, where we go through a checklist of items which you can execute on this week to position yourself as an expert and start charging those big bucks and start getting better rates of response on all of your marketing efforts. In training, my friend, we're going over exactly how you can position yourself as the best in market. And as a result, you'll be able to get paid handsomely. So here's one example of a 10K day for myself. This was from a single payment from a client. And what you got to understand is that people want to work with experts and not amateurs. And in this training, that's exactly what we're going over. We're going over how in the next 7 days, you can position yourself as an expert in solving your ideal client's problems. And as a result, you're going to get paid. Okay, so coming through here, remember that common advice is common and common results are common. So if you follow the common advice, you will get common results. Now, what is the common advice when it comes to creating content and marketing, putting your message out there? It's value, value, value. Okay, well, the fact of the matter is somebody could have all the value. They could be completely correct. But if you don't see them as an authority, if they're not positioned correctly, you don't even value the value that they have to give. Okay, so positioning and being positioned as an authority or as an expert is really the glue that makes everything work. Okay, so the reason why I can charge 10K a client isn't just because my sales process is shit hot, and it's not because the outreach process and the outreach strategy, the copywriting, everything. I personally might be a little bit vain. I think it's all great. Right, but the reason I can do this and the reason that people are willing to get on calls with me and the reason that people are willing to put down this kind of investment, it's not just the sales process. The majority of this is really done because I'm positioned as an authority. Okay, so if you want to get these results, right, if you want to attract the best clients, you must be positioned as an expert. Okay. The reality is you're asking prospects, if you have a high ticket offer, maybe it's not 10K, even if it's 3K. For most prospects, that's a significant investment. And if you're just positioned like another dude out there doing dating coaching or another life coach that's shooting content in his bedroom, and if you're not positioned correctly, you will be perceived as an amateur. And as a result, you'll get paid like an amateur. Okay, so what we're going to be doing in this training is going over exactly how in the next 7 days you can position yourself as an expert and start getting paid massively as a result. Now, this information, you might be asking, well, if this is so valuable, if this is so powerful, why would I be giving this away for free? Which is a valid question. When I work with a client, these are some of the first things we have to put in place as foundations in order for everything else to work. So if you go ahead and implement some of these systems, you'll start getting traction, you'll get better response to your cold and warm outreach. But if you do this and you sign a few clients and then you come to me, it means that those foundations are in place and we can start driving serious results really, really quickly. And I'm not talking about 10K months, I'm talking about beyond that, because this stuff really is the foundation for everything else to work. Okay, so moving forward here, again, common advice is common. So just don't do what most people do. What do most people do? value, value, value. Right? People only value the information if it's coming from a respected source. Right? What's that about? It's about authority bias. Okay, so this is really what we want to leverage. Okay, so keep in mind that marketing, a lot of marketing, it's about making claims. Right? You're going to speak to the prospect's pain points. You're going to speak to their pains, and you're going to speak to their gain, right, or the thing that they want. But claims without proof will immediately be categorized as cap, as bullshit. Okay, so this is likely what's happening the moment a prospect receives a cold DM from you. They go to your page. They're going to see that cold DM or a warm DM, or they're going to see a viral piece of content or a Facebook ad. The first thing they're going to do is click through to your page, and in an instant, right, they're going to decide, is this bullshit or is this worth investigating further? Okay, so you have maximum 3 to 7 seconds to make that first impression. And if you're trying to get out there to new eyeballs, cold audiences, you have less. Okay, so it's so important to strike that powerful first impression. And how you're going to do that is by balancing authority and relatability, not just flexing your wins and client results and your accomplishments, but also showing your wounds, showing your prospect that if they're facing problem X, that you were once there and you know exactly what it feels like to be facing problem X. And you will understand the exact limiting beliefs that one would have when they're facing problem X. You show them that if they feel like they're an emotional prison cell 30B, you show them that you were once there as well, but you found the key to escape. Okay, so in that way, we're telling your hero's journey, we're flexing both authority and relatability, showing the prospect that you were once in the exact same place. Okay. Now, remember that people buy from those who are higher status than them, especially for men. You got to keep in mind that for men, it's difficult to ask for support. This is like common knowledge, right? That's already a difficult thing for a prospect to do. If they perceive you as lower status than themselves, they just won't do it. It's too difficult, and they just won't do it. So even if they resonate with your content, they won't reach out to you, right? So super, super important. Value, value, value is bullshit. You must be positioned as an authority. And further, like, all your competitors are putting out the value posts. Google and ChatGPT already has all the answers. What the prospect really needs is guidance, right? They need leadership. They already have access to value. What they're missing is clarity on how to apply it. They're missing guidance, accountability, support, and leadership. But they will not allow themselves to be led by somebody that's lower status than them. They'll only allow themselves to be led by a professional or an expert. And a professional has case studies. A professional has testimonials. A professional showcases his work. He has his Instagram profile set up in a way that the very first thing a prospect sees when they land on the front page, on your homepage, is just racks and racks and racks of client results and testimonials and case studies. That is one of the primary needles you can use to move yourself in that direction of being perceived as one of the absolute experts in this niche. Okay, and this has nothing to do with follower count. In a moment, I'll show you some client examples of guys that have 1,500 followers, and they're using this combined with cold outreach to rapidly scale their business to 10, 12, 15K months and beyond. Okay? Developed, if you believe in evolution, over millennia, okay, over a super long period of time. And the most primal part of our brain, it's very similar to what a reptile has, what a crocodile has. This is the part of our brain that makes those split decisions, whether we're attracted to somebody or not, whether we perceive somebody as an authority or not. And just like attraction to a woman, it's instantaneous. It's the exact same thing with authority. If they're going to perceive you as an authority, it's an instantaneous split decision. It's not even a decision. It's more primitive than that. Okay, so this is why if you're not positioned as an authority, your message won't even get past that crocodile brain, and he won't even give you 2 seconds of consideration. Okay, so how can we get past this crocodile brain? These are some things that I went through with clients on a group call the other day. But what we're talking about in this session is all about authority. Okay, so understand that you could take the exact same cold outreach strategies that I use to get calls booked in my calendar to do 30, 40K months or whatever, right? You could take all those same strategies. But if you're not positioned effectively, right, if you're not positioned powerfully, you will not get the responses. And you can see this isn't about having 10,000 followers on Instagram, right? I barely have 5,000, right? It goes up and down. But there's clients of mine that have 1,500 followers, and they use this process, not only the cold outreach, right, but like we talked about already, all of that cold outreach, all of that action, the first thing somebody is going to do is arrive on your page. They're going to read your bio. Is it optimized? Is it specific? Is it calling out the ideal client? Right? They're going to look for, they're not even going to look, it's instantaneous. Is there social proof? Are you an authority? Right? Your hero's journey. Are you relatable? Right? You need to be authoritative, but also relatable. Right? Then it's about value. And then it's about actionable advice. Okay? Once we get you positioned as an authority, everything else starts to work. You could copy the exact cold outreach script that I use. Without these elements in place, you just will not get results. So right here, we have a checklist of items which you can tick off this week to position yourself as an expert. And once you do this, you're going to start getting better results from your cold outreach. You're going to get better results from your CTAs. You're going to get better results from content years. You're going to get better results from everything. Okay, so your pinned posts, right? This is optimal real estate. This right here is what the prospect sees when they land on your page. So we've got to ensure that all of this real estate right here above the fold, so to speak, is optimized in a way to position you as an authority. Okay, again, you've only got a few milliseconds to get those hooks in. And once we have the hooks in, then we can start to influence. But the first thing that has to happen is to position ourselves as an authority. And the number one way to do that is to flex these client case studies, like the case of Gene here, these client results. I go to my Instagram, check out my Instagram. You'll see that there's so many of these client results, screenshots, testimonials. You could copy the exact same sales process that I use, and you could copy the exact same outreach scripts that I use. Unless you're positioned correctly, your outreach, all of that stuff will fall flat. The only reason I'm able to charge 10K, the only reason people are eager to get on a call with me and pay me 10K is because I'm positioned as the best in class, right? Because I'm positioned as an expert in solving my ideal clients' problems, okay? So here we have a checklist of things that you can start implementing this week. This is the 80-20 of positioning for you to act on this week to be positioned as an expert. Okay, so you'll see one of the first things, right, is to have a mission statement in your bio that's specific, that's calling out your ideal client. And if you look at mine here, I scaled men's coaches. That's hyper specific. The next things you can execute on is have a very clear mission statement that's specific to your ideal client. Call them out in the bio, speak to pain, gain, or claim. Okay, second, right, or actually first, right, is client results and highlights, right? Client results in the Instagram highlights. Go to my page, look through these client results. You'll see that it goes on and on and on, right? The point of all of this is that this right here is what a prospect sees when they land on your page. And I'm trying to front load this with as much proof as possible, because that proof will give me those first milliseconds to get my hooks in. And then later,
I'll be able to influence the prospect. Later, I'll be able to build that connection, that rapport, that relatability. But the first thing that has to happen is that you are positioned as an authority. And the best way to do that is to flex proof, okay? Flex these client case studies, flex these client screenshots. Like in my case, there's screenshots of Stripe accounts, there's client messages, there's deals closed. All of this stuff is just all over my Instagram, okay? So Mission next is Meta Verified. It's $8 a month. If you're not doing that, I don't know why. Okay, you might have a little bit of resistance to paying the machine the $8 a month, but ultimately this will come back to you if you do all these other things. Okay, so far client results, mission statement in the bio, Meta Verified, one hero's journey post. Okay, we'll come to that in a moment, exactly what that means. One client case study carousel, and one client case study detailing how you get results with proof. Ideally, this is... So, my friend, I hope you got value from this training. Now, if you want to get access to this document, you'll actually see that right here, there is links which go out to Canva documents, so you can start piecing together these client case studies of your own. And further, there's actually links that go out to My Hero's Journey, clients of My Hero's Journeys, and you can start to model your Instagram page so you can be positioned as an authority. And again, this can all be executed on rather quickly. And as a result, this means at the end of this week or the following week, you're going to start getting better results from all of your marketing efforts. Now, I hope I've really demonstrated the point enough already how important it is to be positioned as an expert, because it is the glue that's going to hold everything else together. Now, by all means, if you want support both in your marketing message, but also in your outreach campaigns, your sales process, if you want support in scaling your business to 10, 20K months and beyond, reach out to me. But if you want this document, just drop me a DM on Instagram with the word authority doc, and I'll get this sent over to you, and you can start putting together these pieces and positioning yourself as an expert. And as a result, you'll be able to stand out from all the noise, cut through the competition, and start signing those higher ticket clients left and right. So peace, my friend. Hope you got value from this training, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.